You ever notice how school buses look like they were built by someone who asked, "What if a tank and a banana had a baby?" Bright yellow, blocky, unapologetically unaerodynamic, yet somehow the safest thing on the road, and that kid waving from the window? Yeah, he's basically riding in a safety fortress designed to survive everything short of a meteor strike. Today, we're diving into the bizarre, brilliant engineering that makes school buses ridiculously, absurdly, almost comically safe. And trust me, it's so much weirder than you think. Let's kick it off with the one thing nobody can avoid, that color. Because school buses aren't just yellow. They're National School Bus Glossy Yellow, a name that sounds like a paint color, a government regulation, and a 1950s ice cream flavor all at once. And here's the cool part. This color was chosen in 1939 at a national safety conference. Scientists literally tested dozens of colors to see which one our eyeballs freak out about fastest in peripheral vision. Yellow beat every other color, even white, because the contrast with black lettering is ridiculously high. Your brain sees a school bus the same way it spots a bee flying at you, instantly and with a sense of urgency. In fact, studies show human vision processes yellow about 1.24 times faster than red. So that color? It's not an aesthetic choice. It's a neurological slap in the face. All right, yellow paint gets drivers' attention. But what keeps the kids inside alive? Under that cheerful cartoon yellow shell is a steel safety cage stronger than the plot armor of your favorite TV protagonist. Early school buses, and yes, this is true, were basically wooden benches bolted to pickup trucks. They were called kid hacks, an adorable name with terrifying engineering. By the 1970s, the US said, maybe let's not eat children around in lumber anymore, and introduced federal motor vehicle safety standards specifically for school buses. Today's buses use heavy-gauge steel ribs that form a rigid rollover cage. If the bus flips, the structure absorbs the impact and prevents the roof from collapsing more than 5 inches, which is extremely low for a vehicle that size. That's why crash tests look almost disappointing if you're expecting Hollywood explosions. The bus barely crumples. It flexes, sure, but it flexes like someone who knows they're not losing this fight. Now on to the thing every parent asks while buckling kids into SUVs like they're preparing them for re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. Why don't school buses have seat belts? Short answer, because they don't need them. Long answer, welcome to compartmentalization, also known as human pinball engineered by geniuses. Inside the bus, those tall padded seats aren't a coincidence. They're part of a system where each seat acts like a cushioned barrier. Kids are basically surrounded by mini crash zones that absorb forces in any direction. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration tested this in full crash scenarios and found that kids in school buses are 7 times safer than in passenger cars. With or without seatbelts, that's not a guess. That's federal data. And remember, a fully loaded school bus weighs somewhere between 11 and 14 tons. That kind of mass decelerates slowly in a crash, which means the energy never hits passengers all at once. That's physics finally doing something nice for society. But the real story takes a turn right here. The most dangerous part of a school bus ride isn't the ride. It's the area immediately around the bus, the little 5 to 10 foot halo of pure danger where most school bus-related fatalities actually occur. That's why the moment a bus stops, it basically transforms into a rolling Christmas display of flashing warnings. The red lights begin pulsing, the strobe kicks in, the stop sign swings out like the bus is throwing elbows, and a crossing arm extends from the front to physically force kids to walk far enough ahead that the driver can see them. Add in the giant convex mirrors. Seriously, there are so many mirrors, it looks like the bus is trying out for a salon, and the driver has eyes on almost every inch around the vehicle. Those mirrors aren't decorative. In fact, there's a 13-point mirror check protocol drivers must pass before they're even allowed behind the wheel. That's more steps than assembling a dresser from IKEA. Now let's talk about the infamous ritual of stopping at train tracks. If you've ever been behind a school bus and wondered why they stop, open the door, lean forward, look out dramatically, then slowly inch across like they're entering a boss fight. It's because the rule was born from tragedy. In 1938, a tragic school bus train collision in Sandy, Utah, led to sweeping nationwide changes in transportation safety. That single event rewrote safety laws nationwide. Now drivers are legally required to stop at every track, open the doors, listen, and visually confirm the way is clear. Some modern buses even come equipped with railroad detection sensors. Yes, technology that spots trains so humans don't have to. And if you've ever noticed that school buses rarely, if ever, rush, that's on purpose too. Their engines are governed, typically capped around 45 to 55 miles per hour, depending on state laws. These speed governors make sure that a vehicle weighing more than a T-Rex doesn't go rocketing down the highway like it's auditioning for Fast and Furious. Here's a stat that'll make you look at school buses differently forever. They are the safest vehicles on the road, period. Not just per passenger, not just per mile. Overall, the fatality rate is around 0.2 deaths per 100 million miles traveled, which is astronomically low. For comparison, passenger cars average around 11 deaths per 100 million miles. School buses basically look danger in the eye and say, "Not today." Now let's talk future upgrades, because school buses are getting downright futuristic. Electric buses are rolling out nationwide. They're smoother, cleaner, and so quiet they can sneak up on you like a Prius with a degree in stealth. Their massive batteries give them a lower center of gravity, which actually makes them more stable in crashes. And regenerative braking turns every slowdown into energy storage, turning stop-and-go traffic into free power, like some kind of physics cheat code. But the real showstopper is the new wave of AI-assisted safety features. Some buses can now detect pedestrians, identify cyclists, and flag approaching cars that look like they might blast through the stop sign. They have around-view cameras, onboard computers that monitor whether kids are still seated, and sensors sensitive enough to notice if someone left a backpack in the aisle. Yes, the bus can now tattle. Some districts even have systems where, if a car passes a stopped bus illegally, an exterior camera captures the license plate automatically and sends it to law enforcement. The bus becomes judge, jury, and nice try, buddy. Inside, more sensors track engine heat, battery health, air quality, and whether a child is still on board after the last stop, which is crucial because child check systems have prevented hundreds of accidental left-behind situations. But no matter how advanced these buses get, no matter how much AI, electricity, computer vision, or whisper-quiet efficiency gets packed into them, that iconic yellow isn't going anywhere. There are pages upon pages of federal law mandating the color, the lettering, the reflectivity, and the exact dimensions of every safety marking. Some traditions are sacred, and some are just extremely regulated. So the next time you see a school bus rumble down the street, remember this. You're looking at a machine engineered like a tank, painted like a warning sign, optimized by physics, perfected by decades of safety research, regulated to within an inch of its life, and somehow still piloted by a human who can maintain order among 60 children armed with nothing but a rearview mirror and pure determination. If you enjoyed this deep dive into everyday things you thought you understood, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me what you want decoded next. Because trust me, the world is way stranger than it looks. And here at Factellum Files, we're just getting started.